Hello, my name is Maria from mathmammoth.com. In this video we're gonna solve some algebra word problems. Our first one is an age word problem. Kathy says, in 2 years I will be 1.5 times as old as I was 18 years ago. How old am I? She's meaning how old am I now? So what's our unknown? That's obvious, right? She's asking how old am I now? So I'm gonna put here, let x be Kathy's age now. Now we need to build our equation so we can solve for that. And what clues do we have from the actual problem? Kathy says in 2 years. Okay, if she's x years old now, then in 2 years she's x plus 2 years old. And so in x plus 2 years, she will be 1.5 times as old as I was 18 years ago. That 18 years ago also we can express using x. That's going to be x minus 18, right? So in 2 years, x plus 2. Her age in 2 years will equal 1.5 times her age 18 years ago, which was x minus 18. And so this 1.5 times will have to be multiplying this entire quantity x minus 18. Here's our equation, and now comes the easy part, to solve it. Because it's always more difficult to actually write the equation based on a situation. First, we need to take this 1.5 through the parentheses here. 1.5x, then minus 18, and then half of 18 is 9. So 18 plus 9, 27. Okay, we want x isolated on one side or another. Let me remove it from this side. I will subtract x from both sides. So we are left with half x here. And I'm going to leave this, so I'll add 27. We'll get 29 equals half of x, which that means that we will just double the 29 to get x, so it is 58. Now let's check that this checks, so to speak, that it fits the original sentence that Kathy said. If she's 58 now, then in 2 years she will be 60. And 18 years ago she was 40. And yes, 60 is 1.5 times 40. So it checks. That's good. Here's a coin word problem. Those are also common in algebra. Anthony has a bunch of dimes in his piggy bank, twice as many nickels, 7 fewer quarters than dimes, and 1 50-cent coin. The total value of his coins is $6.40. How many quarters and how many dimes does he have? First, what is our unknown? What do we denote with our x? At first it looks like that we have two unknowns because it says how many quarters and how many dimes. So the number of quarters and number of dimes are unknowns. But if we read through, it tells us that he has a bunch of dimes, twice as many nickels. The number of nickels is based on the number of dimes. That means that we will not need an additional unknown for the number of dimes. Because if we mark dimes as being x, then nickels will be 2x. And 7 fewer quarters than dimes. Again, the number of quarters is based on the number of dimes. So we can use the number of dimes as our unknown. Let's write it down. Let x be the number of dimes. And for those of you who are maybe international, a dime is a 10-cent piece. A nickel is 5 cents, and a quarter is 25 cents. You may have those type of coins in your own currency. So if x is the number of dimes, then 2x is the number of nickels. And quarters, how many quarters does he have? 7 fewer quarters than dimes. X minus 7 is the number of quarters. Now we can build our equation, but the equation will be based on the total value of these coins, because it says that the total value of his coins is $6.40. So these here, x and 2x, x minus 7, are not going to be there just by themselves. X is the number of dimes, but what is the value of those dimes? If you have 5 dimes, and they are 10-cent pieces, then the value is 50 cents, or $0.5. To get the value of those dimes, we have to multiply it by 0.1. To get the value of the nickels, we take the 2x and multiply that by the value of 1 nickel, which is 5 cents. To get the value of the quarters, we multiply that by 25 cents, or if we are using dollars, 0.25. And then he had that one 50-cent coin. And the value of all of these added is now the 640. 6.4 fits better. Okay, now we are ready to solve the equation. What do we do first? Think about it. Try to solve it on your own. First, we're going to simplify here on the left side. For example, we can calculate 2 times 0.05. That's going to be 0.1x. Here's also 0.1x. Then over here, we have 0.25 times x. Then minus 7 times 0.25. If it was 8 times a quarter, it would be exactly 2. So this one is just 1/4 or 0.25 less than that. Now we will combine all these terms with x. There's 0.2, 0.25, so that makes 0.45x. And these ones here also will combine here. All right, now add 1.25 to both sides. And lastly, divide by 0.45, and we get that x equals 17. Okay, now it's time to go back to the original problem. What did it ask, and does this answer make sense? It asked how many dimes and how many quarters does he have. 17 was x, so that's the number of dimes. Quarters was 7 fewer, so that's 10 quarters. But is the answer correct? We should check that too. Does the number of those coins actually, if we take the value, does it give us 640? And we also had twice as many nickels. So let me write here that dimes, 17, nickels, there's 34, double as many. Quarters was 7 fewer, and then the one 50-cent piece. Now the value, 17 dimes, 34 nickels is the same value, 10 quarters, 250, and this one is 0.50. And we can add these. 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 10, 24, and 6. Yes, we get 640 here as the value of his coins, so all is well. Okay, I hope this was helpful. We're all done with this lesson.